Karen and Jennifer, take it away.
Hi, thank you. It's great to be with you all with the Atascadero Chamber. We've been members for quite some time, and we absolutely love working with you. Your support in the community and then also the local businesses is absolutely amazing. So thank you so much. Last month, Mom went to go pick up our brews for the last A Talks, and she got invited to do this. And so we're here, and you're in our barn with us. So thank you. It's nice to see everybody visually, and then hopefully one day we'll do this in person. We are a mother-daughter team. I'm Jennifer and Mom Karen. We are the Groves on 41 vacation rental, private events, eventually someday we hope. And then more important for you tonight, we are Olive Farm, and you have your olive oil tasting kits, which Mom will go over in just a moment. But we really wanted to just kind of say thank you in helping us pivot during these times. The community has been amazing. Our biggest change in the pivot right now, we're working towards obviously the virtual events and tasting, but with private events. And you were talking about the office being open or not being open just yet. And in the private events world, we've been working great with an event coalition. I've been lucky to be on that committee and trying to get a much more powerful voice locally and statewide through SLO Event Coalition, as well as through California Private Events, California Association for Private Events. So it's been really exciting to see some of the activity there. So we're really looking forward as we grow in tiers. Hopefully, that end of our world, our events world, will also start to improve. So it's all been about a community, and it's been absolutely amazing. But Mom's got a whole lot more pivoting that we've been going through.
Yes, and one day soon with the private events, we really hope that we can host again a lot of the nonprofits in the area. This is a really generous community, and Linda, your organization is just amazing. One of the things that absolutely saved our bacon last year, because all of our events were shut down, and that was a large portion of our income statement. And the olive harvest was rather crummy throughout California due to the weather. But our corporate gift program around the holidays took off, and now one of our favorite corporate gift givers each year is French Hospital. And Rosie's on this call here, so I want to thank her. And I just want to show you briefly a little package that people decided to give healthier this year. And so it's the 3-bottle, like those that have bought the kits, they're nicely packaged, and we put a custom sticker with your own information on it, or include your own holiday card in it. And we were fortunate enough to have worked our fingers off this year filling orders. So truly a big shout out, and thank you very much for that. Before we get into the kit, the other way that we're pivoting and we're working hard to bring out this spring and summer is a plant a tree experience, because people want to get out and do things as their family group. And one of the things that they can do if they have a special occasion or a wedding is plant a tree, and we give them a little certificate so they can come back and taste olive oil whenever they want and visit their tree and see how it is really contributing well to the environment, cleaning the air. We're right on Highway 41, so we're kind of contributing a little bit to scrubbing out some of that carbon dioxide, or as it is, and turning it into oxygen again. So our trees are hard at work besides just producing olives. But we also, yes, if you've got an event locally that you want to remember, or a loved one that you want to remember, you can plant a tree locally and then come in and take a look at how it's producing each year. But now, if we want to get right into the kits real quick, we loaded up, those of you who got the kits, thank you. It's a lot of fun. We geek out on the information of olive oil, so we enjoy doing classes. We're going to be putting together classes for a Saturday or Sunday during the weekday for people to be able to socially distance still, but sit in their family group. We've got 3,000 square feet to be able to have lots of big doors open and stuff, and come on in and learn a little bit about this industry, because wherever good wine grapes are sold, good olive oil or grown, good olive oil is being produced. And so in your packet, you've got a list of what's in your packet. We've got recipe cards with the olive oil because, as we say, it doesn't do you any good sitting in a bottle. If you buy it, you got to use it. And we don't want you to think, well, goodness, why did I get that? We'll help out with serving suggestions and recipes. And a lot of our customers have come back and contributed recipes. So we're really excited about that. But we do have a tasting map. And this is what you would get if you came to one of our tasting experiences here, where you'd like to learn a little bit more about olive oil. And we've got cups in the bag. And so what we suggest you do is put a little cup on top of each flavor or varietal. And then if you have olive oil in your kitchen too, and you don't even have to set this up and do this now, but if you want to taste along, go ahead and grab an olive oil out of your kitchen pantry and pour it in a little cup, and we'll show you how the pros taste. They actually use a blue glass. And the reason why they use the blue glass is they don't want to be influenced by the color of the olive oil. And so the first thing they do is warm it up in their hands and then smell, because you don't want to taste anything that doesn't smell good, right? And then they will slurp it, not sip it. That's way too polite. So we will start with the Spanish Arbequina. This actually won a gold award for us in New York last year. It's one of the largest international competitions. And I'll just pour a little splash into the cup. And you got to pretend like you're about a 5-year-old if you want to slurp properly. So you really got to channel that back. And it should dance on your palate. You should feel it at the front of the palate and at the back of the throat. And if you don't taste an olive oil at the back of the throat where it makes you almost want to cough or do cough, then it's probably not fresh, very fresh, and it's probably lower in polyphenols. So you can actually be the judge of the olive oil that you have to see whether or not it is fresh. And we've got a little card in the kits explaining the freshness of olive oil and why that is such an important factor in the growth of the California olive oil industry. There's over 400 commercial growers now. There's 40 here, right here in SLO County. And then we've also included a little hummus recipe, because why buy store-bought hummus? It's so inexpensive to make, and you can make it with fresh ingredients, and the flavors are just outstanding. Oh, and on the back of the hummus cart is thoughts for a party. It's a great way to start an appetizer. Have a couple of different flavors of olive oil and your favorite little chips and veggies, and some homemade hummus that they can drizzle their own flavor on.
Sure, and we have a little less than a minute left.
All right, so I'll show you less than a minute. Let's go. Thank you. The custom blend is the one that we produced this year. It's in very limited stock and supply, but we wanted to make sure that whoever had a kit had got to taste the custom blend, because we've just sent it back out to New York for this year's competition, and also the Mid-State Fair, which that competition is coming up. And then finally, and Josh, you mentioned the praline. We have included in your kit a praline olive oil because it's very unusual, and it's one of our signature olive oils. You don't really see that flavor, but to taste the praline, why, we've got a winemaker that drizzles this on Brussels sprouts and then roasts them. Well, that's not a vegetable to him. He puts them in a bowl like it's popcorn and sits in front of a good movie. So healthy is what we're about. Geeking out on some of the statistics is also, you'll see our sensory evaluation, and come on, there's a little geek in all of us. So you got to look at the evaluations and see how we did with the chemical analysis and what goes into producing a good product. And then if you come on out, if you've got a family activity and you want to come on out to the Groves on 41, we're only 4.5 miles east of the 101 on Highway 41. And wear comfortable shoes. Let's wander around the trees and see how they're doing. and bring the kids because they seriously enjoy tasting olive oil. One of Jennifer's favorite.
Oh, the fairgrounds.
Yes, in the fairgrounds, after school starts up, the Farm Bureau will put on a, what's that called?
Great adventure.
The Great Ag Venture. And so they ask the farmers to come out with their tractors and their geese and their chickens and their cows. And they all come out and they ask us to talk about olive oil to 9-year-olds.
For 20 minutes.
Without boring them.
Well, I can't wait to get into the statistics. And thank you so much for being our kit sponsor this month. What a fantastic package you've put together. I can't wait to dig into my kit and try those out. I highly recommend the praline. The raspberry olive oil and brownies is amazing. So everyone should pick up a bottle of that as well. Thank you for being here. And there's time at the end. We'll open up the floor for questions.
Thank you.
Okay, so next up, we are going to talk about one of the youngest forms of economic entrepreneurialism spirit. And I'm really excited to be joined today by a couple local Girl Scout troops. I think they're called troops. I'm in Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts with my boys, so I'm not as familiar with the Girl Scout program. But today we have we have Sienna and Bella Caspary, and we have Macy Mumford, and they're from troops 45002 and 45030. And they are here to talk to us about their programs and a little thing called Girl Scout cookies.
Hi, my name is Bella. And I'm Macy. We are Girl Scout Brownies. We have been a Girl Scouts for 4 years now, and now we are 9. My favorite part about being a Girl Scout because I get to meet new people. And my favorite part about being a Girl Scout is because we get to go on adventures and go exploring. My favorite cookie is a Thin Mint. And we even have a new cookie this year, and it's called a Toastier. It's a French toast-inspired cookie dipped in icing on the bottom. And my favorite cookie is a Caramel Delight. And some of the other cookies we have are lemonades, shortbreads, s'mores, peanut butter sandwiches, and last but not least, peanut butter patties. And the money we earn goes towards camp and giving back to our community like loaves and fishes. So please buy cookies to help support Girl Scout troops all around San Luis County. Questions or comments?
So we have a question. How can we buy them from you? Because we don't see the cookie stands.
So Josh has the link that he'll put up.
Yeah, the link is in the chat right now. You can click on the chat and there's a link.
We'll deliver them.
And you'll deliver.
Yes. And they just changed because our tier changed that some of the stores in Paso are going to start letting us sell out front.
Yay.
Fantastic.
Girls, what are your favorite adventures in Girl Scouts?
One of the adventures we went on is we got to sleep at Santa Barbara Zoo.
Oh, nice, with all the animals.
Yeah. And one of the other ones is a full steam ahead camp.
Was what?
A full steam ahead camp.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Thanks. Thanks for selling cookies.
Yeah, I'm just curious what everyone's favorite Girl Scout cookies are. I put them in the chat. I'm a peanut butter patty fan. Oh, I see some Thin Mint fans in there.
How to be Thin Mints?
Has anybody tried the new cookie?
Is that the
Not
s'mores?
yet.
The toastier.
Can you describe it to us?
Yeah, it's a French toast inspired cookie dipped in icing on the bottom.
Sounds really good. Sounds really good. All right. Well, thank you, girls, for being here today and for talking to us about Girl Scouts and your cookies. And once again, everyone, let's support these troops here by clicking on their link and getting some cookies for them. Sounds like they will deliver to your door. What kind of, you can't get better service than that. And I just love that they are here representing girls and the entrepreneurial spirit that we're all about here in our business community. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting us.
Did that pop up? Is that my PowerPoint?
It did, yes.
Okay. All right. That's the hardest part of this whole thing, really, is making sure I've got the right screen on. So, Josh, be sure to cut me off when I start talking because I am pretty passionate about this. So, this is super exciting. We've got some evacuation plans through the city. Click on the right. So, just a real brief history. Here's an old evacuation map that we used in Atascadero for years and years and years. And I know it may be hard for some of you to see, but and this is we still have some of these around, but it was very you know, one way to go. You have a directional arrow on your street, and you get to a certain area. So those were great for knowing your ways in and out of your neighborhood. However, having an arrow point a certain direction may not be the best thing when the fire is coming from that way and it's going somewhere else. So
These are evacuation zones.
So we knew we needed to do something a little bit different, and it's kind of inspired by some of the tragedies over the last few years. We had several large fires starting in 2017: the Tubbs fire, the Thomas fire, and then the Camp fire in Paradise, which was pretty large loss of life. And after those fires, we started off with City Council strategic planning in 2019. And one of the top 3 goals for the City Council that year was to ensure comprehensive safety readiness and risk mitigation. So we really felt the need from citizens and people asking us, well, can that happen here in Atascadero? What do we need to do to make sure that that loss of life does not happen here in Atascadero? And it really came down to a few bullet points there. We've got, first one is called Defend Atascadero. And that really summed up our wildland preparedness training that we talked to the public about. We had a big presentation inside City Hall that year where we talked about fire preparedness and defending your house. And it really is defend. We like that term defend. I think the mayor was that one that actually came up with that. Is it really takes some self-initiation. You know, you have to be prepared to defend your own property and do the steps and know where to go and take it upon yourself to be able to defend your property and come through something like this. But really the next steps were evacuation planning and evacuation notifications. And that led us to Zone Haven. And Zone Haven's a company that's up in the Bay Area. It's a technology GIS company that was basically brand new. And after that Santa Rosa and actually the Paradise fire, they teamed up with some firefighters that were in the command structure of that incident and just said, we've got to find a better way. You know, we shouldn't be drawing evacuation zones on the back of a piece of paper at 2 a.m. trying to figure out who we're going to move and where. And so they came up with this system of using GIS and drawing these smart zones that you can get some information in and out of, be able to alert the community a little bit better, and really help move lots of people, quite a few people when we need to. So it might take me a minute to get the right screen over, but I'm gonna show you first the community side. So hopefully you've all seen the Know Your Zone campaign. We have a billboard in town on the freeway. We've got some mailers and stickers that went out to everybody over the weekend that live in Atascadero. And that's really to get you to this community evacuation interface. So this is the public side. So I'm gonna click on the website, and I'm gonna use the Atascadero website just to show you how to find it. So if you go to Atascadero, can you see my website right there?
In mathematics.
You good? Okay. So this is the city website under the Atascadero Fire page, and it takes you right to that Know Your Zone. So by clicking on the Know Your Zone, and I think this came out on the flyer and the sticker, and everybody's being asked to record what zone you're in. This is the website that pops up. It's got the city map all divided up. And if we search a zone, we'll search the fire department. So it comes right up with the zone you're in, and it gives you some information on what status, if it's under an evacuation, some description of the zone, now the summary of where it is, some evacuation info if need be, and then there's some good pieces of information. Our website's here, the Ready Slow, which the county puts a lot of good emergency preparedness on their website. The Ready, Set, Go wildfire preparedness that's the program we use to teach everybody to prepare their home for wildfire. And then the reverse 911 sign up, which I'll get into notifications here in a moment, but that takes you right to the link on the sheriff's page to register your cell phone for reverse 911. So that's the community side. This is the page we're asking everybody to go record your zone 19 here for the downtown, and this was I typed in the address for the fire station. So record your zone, know what it is, and then when we communicate to those zones or to the entire city in general, you'll be able to know when it's time to evacuate. So I'm going to give you the other side. How am I doing on time, Josh?
3 minutes.
3 minutes to go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll just real quickly then show you the fire department side. This is for police and fire. I'll try to do this in real quick here. Takes a minute to load up. So this is information that we have that we're using to dictate an evacuation. I click on a zone, I clicked on zone 2 here. Information on the right side of the screen pops up. I have an idea of the population, the number of vehicles, the area, how many structures are in that zone. And really it's going to give me information for both police and fire on what exit points we're going to be using for that zone. So I've got information on critical evacuation facilities. And then some of these numbers are for the people that are enacting the evacuation. Where are we going to put police officers? Which intersections, and they're ranked here and identified, which intersections are we going to put officers and tell people to go left or right, or tell them to go straight to the freeway, to the on-ramp. So this gives us an idea of how many officers and where we would be posting control points. And then an idea of what these routes. So we're going to take here San Anselmo Road to Highway 101. And instead of saying a route that's used all the time, these routes can be changed based on the type of emergency or the location of the fire. I'm just going to close that. I'll get back to here. I know I'm running out of time. Here's a picture of our billboard. So this really kind of sums up our education. Super excited about this. It's nice to see going through town. This is Terry Banish and one of my engineers, Colette Layton and Matt Miranda, battalion chief. They worked hard on this. So some of the other, besides that, the billboard, we've got mailers going out. We're going to do another round of them here shortly that's going to talk about, in addition to wildfire preparedness at your home, we're also going to be doing a siren. So you hear a high-low siren, it's time to go. So hear the high-low, time to go. That's going to be coming out this April and May, a little closer to wildland season. This is that notification page that you could click on from your own zone. And this is where you register your cell phone to receive a reverse 911 call. So landlines are already registered. You don't have to worry about that. But we know most people have cell phones. You would click on that link that's in your zone, takes you to this page, and you get your cell phone. And that's just one of the ways we're going to notify. We're going to try to shotgun approach. We're going to use the cell phone, the landline, reverse 911 for both of those options, but then also social media. So we're going to be hitting the city, fire department, police departments, social media sites, and we'd be saying, you know, putting out a post on evacuate a certain zone. And then at that point, you know, it goes out citywide or everybody that's following that social media, but you would know your zone and you would know that it's time to evacuate. I think I probably left all of about 15 seconds for you, Josh, but if there's any questions for me, I will stop sharing my screen here.
Great. And I'll just share because I knew you were going to talk about. I went and I figured out what zone I'm in, and I think what was really important that the fire chief was talking about is to click on, if you can see my screen here, click on this button, subscribe to alerts. And that takes you to the sheriff's office page. And that allows you to sign up for the, was it the cell phone, reverse 911, email alert. So yeah, it just takes a minute to do that, and then you'll be in the know.
Awesome.
All
So
right.
what zone were you, Josh?
What's that?
In what zone were you?
I'm 25.
Awesome.
Yeah. Any other 25ers out there? B, you're 25? Okay. All right.
I have a little something to add, of course, Chief, sorry. These stickers, which I know Zoe's laughing at me, but these stickers came in the mail with your mailer. This is what your mailer looked like. And the stickers, if you write in a Sharpie over here, your zone, and stick it on your mailbox, and everybody goes by it all the time, they're gonna see it and they keep seeing it and then they know where your zone is. Or put it by your phone or put it on your refrigerator. Top of mind awareness, right, Rich? Woohoo! So anyway, thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Terry. That's why I bring the experts here. Terry's got everything. So.
All right, nice teamwork there. Okay, now on to our nonprofit spotlight for this month. And it's an organization that's been in Atascadero for a number of years. I know my mom was involved in many years ago. My mom was involved, and glad they're still around. AAUW, American Association of University Women, and I'm pleased to say that we're joined by Linda Baker from the organization today. And Linda, tell us all about AAUW, and you have 5 minutes.
I think I can do that. Let me share my screen here. Oh, let's go backwards. I want to start with, oh, sorry, folks. Let me just talk to you because I have a little trouble with that, but and I don't want to use up time doing that. But AAUW stands for the American Association of University Women, as Josh said. The organization has been around at the national level since 1881. And as the name suggests, university women, it originally started at a time when there weren't many women who were attending four-year universities and receiving degrees, for women who had graduated from universities to support each other. And it grew from there. So they supported each other in educational attainment, and also they supported each other as people in a time when sometimes it was difficult for women to be to find professions and to pursue their educational interests. And it grew from there. They got into political advocacy as a result of the women's suffrage movement. And then they became a more politically active organization. Their role at the national level now has 3 pillars. They're interested in economic equity for women. They're interested in educational attainment, and they're interested in women's leadership possibilities and personal and professional growth. Our local chapter, which right now has about 110 members, is the oldest one in the county. It has been here since 1937. It was started by 10 women, most of them school teachers, and has grown from there, gradually growing. We have a couple of local projects, some of which you may have heard about, because I know some of you said that you've seen our organization in the community. I was really happy to hear that. The emphasis locally has been on the educational pieces of it more than the economic equity, and to this point. And so most of our local projects have to do with promoting women's education, women and girls' educational attainment. So we have a program called Tech Trek, which is for middle school girls to go for a week to STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. 1 week live-in college experience at the UC Santa Barbara. And that hasn't been possible last year or this year because of COVID requirements. So that's on hold for right now, but they will be able to start it back up again next summer. They're already planning for that. And then we also offer scholarships, and our scholarships are for North County women. Our branch serves Santa Margarita, Atascadero, and Templeton. And then we have some members also from Paso Robles. And so our scholarships are for women who have been in college for at least a year. And they either graduated from one of our North County high schools. Okay, either graduated from one of our North County high schools, or they had a residence here, and they vary between $500 and $2,000. And we have our scholarship opportunities opening right now. So one of the things that we're interested in is getting the word out to people to apply, because we have a little more money for scholarships this year. And one of the nice things about our scholarships is that they go directly to the women, and that includes adult women. It isn't just young people going to college for the first time, so that they can use it for anything that allows them to stay in school: tuition, books, fees, childcare, transportation. So we're interested in the economic equity pieces of it, and we're very interested in collaborating with the chamber, particularly the women in business, so that we can do more in promoting economic equity for women in the community. And we'd like to collaborate with people. We can offer mentoring from our very experienced women who have been involved in the community and professions for a long time. We're interested in maybe starting a directory of women-owned businesses. And we'd like to get more involved with the women in business subgroup of the chamber. So we're really glad to be a member of the chamber. We've been there for a long time. And thank you for your patience. I didn't want to use up your time getting my slides in order.
No, it's what a wonderful organization, and our community is better because of the work that you do. So thank you for telling us about that. And how can folks get more involved?
Well, let me. I do have a slide that has all of the website information in it. But
For time's sake,
I'll put the website. I'll put the website connection in there.
So Linda, if you don't mind, I threw a link in the chat, and if that's
okay,
correct, maybe you could throw in another one, and we'll put one in the just keep it in the chat.
Okay, so there's 3 parts of our website that you might want to look at. There's a scholarship page, which has all the descriptions of how to apply. You can apply now, and then the deadline is later on at the end of April. And then you want to look at the membership page because there's a lot of really dynamic women here, and we're looking for particularly younger women and a more diverse group to be part. And then you can look at our front page. It shows what we're interested in and our political and public policy stance. We also have a bunch of interest groups. We have a lot of fun together. We have book groups, we have mahjong groups, we have card groups. One of our groups just wrote a memoir that's being published by Amazon. So thank you,
Linda.
Josh.
Thank you very much for being here. Okay, and rounding out our program today, we are joined by Zoe Zappis of Z Villages to talk to us about the exciting buildings going up in our downtown. And Zoe, tell us about this. What's going on?
Hello. Okay, I am in presenter view. Hello. Let's see. I need to find my correct slides. There we are. Yeah, I'm Zoe Zappis, as Josh just mentioned. I'm going to give you a little bit of history about our company. Mike Zappis on the left-hand side there, he's the guy that got everything started and rolling. And then Max Zappis is in the middle. He's the tall one. And he's kind of the one that's the main push to get us into downtown and start our development process down here. And yeah, so that's us. I came on a few years after Max came on, and I do a lot of the marketing, PR, and social media marketing and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm also working on some side projects, the Equality Mural Project being one of them, which is to add 10 murals to downtown Atascadero this year. So excited about that. And for a little bit of context, we are mostly interested in doing like residential projects, or that's kind of like what's been our wheelhouse for the beginning part of our company. Mike Zappis did this project with a few other partners back in 2002. This is an aerial view of Hidden Oaks Village on the south end of town. He won a bunch of awards for saving the trees in this development. And it's a great development because it like kind of weaves in and out of this oak tree forest. And so yeah, that I geek out on trees and nature, but we'll leave that for another time. Alamos Village is another one of our developments, 100 units on the south end of town as well. Yeah, that was done in 2013. But we're mostly interested today in what's happening downtown, so we'll go directly into that. This is La Plaza. Y'all have been seeing this maybe, this image maybe around town, and then also been seeing the improvements happening in downtown. And I'm a little tired of looking at this rendering. It's just like too much of the one thing, because we spent 3 years doing this entitlement process through the city. RRM did our rendering for this, which Josh Cross, you used to work for them, so shout out to them and you. But yeah, so this took us 3 years to get out of the ground, and our estimated completion date for this smaller building, which is the closest in this rendering, the closest building in this rendering, is due around May or early June. And then the bigger building off to the right-hand side, that one's probably looking more like September, October, so like fall of 2021. And we're still looking for commercial tenants, obviously a little bit difficult during COVID, but we've got a couple on the books, and we're excited to see who else is gonna come out of the woodworks for this. And then we are very, very close to starting our application process for the residential units for the smaller building. We've got 4 high-end condos, spec type units in there, and so we'll start that process very soon. And then we'll go on to the smaller building residential. We've got 38 more apartment style units in there as well. So in all, it's about 18,000 square feet of retail commercial space. So it's a good chunk, but we're looking forward to the creative problem solving in there. And then this is like the front view. of it currently. So we're finally getting the stucco on the side of the building for this bigger building. But yeah, again, Z Villages is mostly focused on providing housing for Californians. California's got a huge housing crisis, and we're trying to do our part in filling that void. And it's been really fun to like, I don't know if you guys remember this lot here downtown, but it was like basically empty with a rundown Jack in the Box building that was empty for a decade. So we're like, I'm very excited to get more bodies and more excitement and more vibrancy downtown. And I think that this will help us get us there. So yeah, around the time that we were thinking about purchasing this property, our companies started reading this book called Happy City, which is a book kind of about like what it takes. It's a case study on what it takes to have a city be like a place that people want to be and thrive and like hang out. And in that, they kind of describe the downtown zone as needing high density, lots of bodies and lots of people walking around using the public spaces. And it kind of kicked us into this project, that book. It was a big persuasive piece. And still, like every once in a while when we come up for air from the details of the construction world, we get giddy with the excitement of like seeing people in this building and like walking around and like buying yogurt and going to the store around the corner. And yeah, so we're really excited about getting this up and operating. And so yeah, this is La Plaza. And then next we're on to our other current development that's underway, which is called Block Shops. And it's a development made of shipping containers. And I thought that we would be open and operating these businesses, or our businesses would be operating currently, but you know, construction always takes a little bit of a delay. So here we are, we're still building, but we're excited about this as well. And I'll mention right now that we've got social media accounts for all of these development projects, and it would behoove you to follow along because we've got so many like tips and tricks and details of things going on and what we're planning and stuff like that. So you can find us at Atascadero La Plaza for Instagram and Facebook, and then block.shops, and then at Z Villages for general development and management stuff. So there's that. So block shops, super exciting. Prefabrication construction, which doesn't sound super exciting in the name, but in our minds, it's kind of the future of construction because it cuts the construction time almost in half. So basically, faster construction means happier tenants, happier property owners. It's just kind of a win-win situation. And this was a bit of a testing ground for us here. And there have been bumps on the road, but ultimately still a very like significantly faster turnaround time. And you know, for comparison, we had a 3-year entitlement process for La Plaza, of course, way more complicated building and structure, but block shops took us just under 6 months to get entitled, which is screaming fast for regulations now and getting through city council hearings or whatever we need to get done. So we're really excited about what this means for the future of development for us and other developers. Next up, we've got this building. It's a little bit of a grainy photo, and I apologize for that, but this is smack dab in between both of our development projects, La Plaza and Block Shops. And we're toying with the idea of redeveloping this site as well as kind of like a phase 2 to Block Shops. A lot of people, we've had a lot of interest in people wanting to live in shipping containers. And so we're kind of just trying to listen to what market is demanding. And so we're toying with the idea of doing some residential units in shipping containers on this site. But obviously we're a little bit busy with our 2 projects happening right now. So that's a little bit on the back burner for the moment, but yeah. Next up, the last one that we have planned for downtown is this building, it's at 5730, I believe, El Camino Real, which is the parking lot for Brew Coffee House. It's better known as the parking lot. So it's an old Kelly Gearhart property. And he started this several years ago. And instead of us like starting over from scratch and kind of like trying to figure out what to do with this site, we decided to co-opt what he had already started with the building design. And we changed a few things, like instead of office space, we changed it to residential use upstairs. We've got 4 livable units upstairs and then 1 ADA accessible unit downstairs. And it's a beautiful design building. I love it. But what we're seeing is that like potentially retail and restaurant users are not super interested in a very classical style building. They're a little bit more interested in the industrial, more modern, sleek versions of design. So we're back a little bit. We're kind of taking a beat and figuring out, do we want to do something more interesting with the architectural style? Would that get us more interest? So, you know, the conversation is ongoing. Again, this is a back burner project at the moment. We're very busy with our other 2 developments and stuff. So yeah, this is kind of it for us. I mean, not really, but this is it for now. So here we are.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you.
Yeah.
Zoe, I know what everyone's going to ask, and I'm going to ask it first.
Okay.
Can you please share some of the tenants? And if you can't share specific tenants, maybe like the type of tenant they're moving in.
Got it. We are not sharing who is going in here quite yet, but I will say that we are looking for more restaurant use for sure. In comparison to like Paso Robles, which is similar population size, they have double the amount of restaurants that we do here. So that's a huge priority for us. We think there's a huge need for restaurants and food service just in general. So yeah, we're looking at a lot of different, more creative ways of splitting up this huge space, because with La Plaza, the spaces are like 3,000 to 4,000 square feet, which is maybe a little bit too much for people to bite off. So we're thinking about maybe more of like a market walk kind of idea for the bigger building. But again, we're trying to plan on the fly for a lot of this. And so yeah, we're excited about those endeavors, but we have got not a lot fully nailed down yet, but yeah.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
See, 2 more things. If anyone has to hop off, I understand. Kept you a little over. I have 2 things, and then we can open it up for questions for all of our speakers. First, I want to go to Terry Banish, who has a city announcement. Is that still true, Terry?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. So we have an event coming up. Woohoo! Brew at the Zoo virtual is coming up for April 24th from 12:30 to 3:30. It's a lot of fun. We send you 14-pack of beer from our local breweries, Tent City, Wild Fields, are a couple of them, Santa Maria Brewing. A lot of fun breweries. So you get 1 of each in your 14-pack. You get the link to the event. You link in at 12:30 on Saturday the 24th and enjoy the show. It's live from the zoo, but we have to do it virtual one more time. We did that in September, had an amazing showing, had a fun time. If you want to see me get drenched by beer, that might happen from what I understand. Some of you would like to do that anyway, but it's a lot of fun. So it's $65 for a ticket for a 14-pack. That's about $5 a beer. And then you can upgrade to $90 for the VIP package. So just go to visitatascadero.com, click on events, and all the information is there, as well as all of the events that we will have coming up here, especially as we get towards later in the year. So stay tuned, but that's it for now.
Thank you, Terry. And I had to pitch the Chamber's event that we're really excited about coming up on April 17th. We're really excited to share our Speakeasy Night, our annual gala and awards. This is the night that we usually come together and hang out at the pavilion and have dinner and This year, we're going to do it virtually, and we are going to have a fun online program. We've got a DJ lined up. We've got, we're trying to get all of our award recipients lined up. So we're really excited that tickets are going to go on sale on Monday. They start at $25. $125 gets you dinner, wine, raffle tickets. And then we have really fun VIP experiences with, one is with Alta Colina Winery, one is with with Wild Fields Brew House, and the third is with Central Coast Distillery, and hanging out with the owners of those businesses for a fun evening. So check that out, be on the lookout for that. And I'm really looking forward to this. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I want to open the floor to all of you to ask any questions.
Josh, what are you wearing to the annual gala? We were encouraging everyone to dress up. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna, yeah, I'll be in a suit for sure. Yeah.
So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. Oh, when does the nominations close for the?
Thank you for asking, Vicki. Nominations for, as Tom Jones likes to call it, Human of the Year, which this past year was Terry Banish, closes March 17th. So we've got 2 more weeks to get those nominations in for Nonprofit of the Year, Person of the Year, or actually Citizen of the Year, Business of the Year, Entrepreneur of the Year, and we'll do an Ambassador of the Year as well. So if you can think of a person or an organization that is worthy of one of those awards, please go on our website and nominate that person, so that we can have a big pool of applicants to pick from.
I have a question for Zoe. I was asked this today by Chuck Davidson. When is construction going to be complete? That was a question that I found myself not being able to really answer.
For La Plaza?
Yeah.
I think in total it's probably going to be around like October, but yeah, I don't know. For the commercial retail space, it just kind of depends on how quick their TI build outs go. But yeah, we're shooting for October of this year.
I answered the question correctly. That's awesome. I guess.
Oh, good.
I guess. I'm like October maybe, but I just thought, that was something that's come up a couple times actually. So I felt that might be good for everybody here to have. So
cool. Yeah.
A lot of work there. Good job.
Well, thank you everyone for hanging out with us. Thank you to all the speakers, and thank you for making this another great A-Talks. And we'll see you next month. Well, we'll be joined by Echo, Wendy Lewis from Echo, and hopefully Chris from Kula Vineyard. And I think we're going to have some healthcare updates as well. So be on the lookout for that. Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.